In the weeks since California voters overwhelmingly rejected the bilingual education for children in their state, I've had some interesting conversation with political leaders, parents, teachers, researchers, and journalists on what the vote means for non-English speaking children around the country. Everyone agrees that Proposition 227, which received 61 of the California vote, marks an end to the bilingual education as we know it. Nonetheless, the group of diehard bilingual advocates had filed a lawsuit to block enforcement of the measure. The group complained that the law, which mandates 1 year of intensive English instruction for kids who don't yet speak the language, violates the civil rights of non-speaking English children. But even when they win their case, a highly unlikely event, bilingual education as it is now practiced won't survive. The real question is what will replace bilingual education. Nationwide, about 3 million public schools don't know English. Many school districts must accommodate children from 60 or more language groups. Some of the children are 5 or 6 years old and entering school for the first time, and others who are older may or may not attend school in their homeland. Either this century, such children would have been expected to learn English practically by osmosis, either sinking or swimming in on their own. Of course, millions of children did learn this way, but many others failed, failing further behind each year or dropping out of school altogether. In 1974, the U.S. Supreme Court declared it illegal for school districts to simply ignore the plight of non-English speaking children. So schools must do something to help kids learn English, currently teaching them in their native language for 4 or 5 hours a day, which is what bilingual programs have done until now. Hasn't worked, but what will? First, teaching English to poor non-English speaking kids isn't always easy, which especially if such children constitute a majority in their classroom or school speak a single common language, which is the case in most school districts, which large Hispanic immigrant populations. It is true that young children absorb language more readily than older kids or adults, but if these children also happen to have multiple learning problems, as many poor kids unfortunately do, the process may be slow and frustrating. That's more than a few hours a day in which children can practice English may not compensate for the disadvantages of living in an environment where English is rarely, if ever, heard. The answer is not to give up teaching, as so many bilingual programs have, but to allocate enough resources to get the job done.